Hello everybody and welcome to part 2 of this series. So this is Generation 2 starters in Soulsilver in a randomized environment. There is a part 1, you don't have to watch it, but it can help you understand a bit. I'm not going to add the rules here, I'll put them in the description if you're curious, but there are a few rules in place, but besides that we can just get right into it. For now, the footage in the background is just going to be me being the gyms while I talk about what's going on. So if you've watched the first part, this is basically more of the same, just minus the story bits, so it's not going to be too much stuff happening. I'm going to cut a lot of the extra fluff out of traveling the Kanto and stuff. A big difference between the Johto and Kanto regions of this challenge. In Johto, the levels are a lot lower, and as such, a lot of the Pokemon have not as powerful attacks. For instance, your legendary Pokemon don't really learn many moves at level 10 to 30-ish because they're not intended to be caught until about level 40 to 50-ish in most games. So they don't usually have any moves at lower levels that can really hurt your Pokemon. But on top of that, Pokemon trainers also just have less team members overall. Each gym leader in the Johto region, for instance, none of them have more than 4 Pokemon. The max is 4. 2 of them only have 2 Pokemon. Now, in the Kanto region, it's much better. They have a minimum of 3 with a maximum of 6. There's 2 gym leaders with 3 Pokemon, and the others have 4 to 6. Gary having 6, the others usually having about 5, I believe. Now, just on top of that, in Kanto, the levels are higher in general. So like I said before, Pokemon will have much more powerful attacks because they're at their higher levels. So the legendaries you encounter should be a lot more powerful at these higher levels because now they can learn the moves they're supposed to learn. A Palkia, for instance, won't have Spatial Ran until like level 50 or so. So if you were to find a Palkia very early game, then it's not going to really have any moves. Granted, that's not a great example because it does have Water Pulse and Dragon Breath, 2 excellent moves for the Pokemon, but it doesn't have its best moves, meaning at higher levels it's much stronger than at the lower levels. And this goes for really all Pokemon in general. I believe most Pokemon learn their best moves between around level 40 to 70. That's when you'll get your Hydro Pumps, your Fire Blasts, your Flamethrowers, your Thunders, Thunderbolts, Leaf Storms, all of the really powerful moves, making every Pokemon just a lot more threatening in general. Another thing in Kanto, like I said, is larger teams. So all the gym leaders have larger teams. Elite Four rematch have all teams of 6. The hardest trainer, Red, has a full team of 6. On top of the higher levels, they just have more Pokemon. This doesn't go for every single trainer in the region, of course, because there are just random trainers that kind of just have whatever they want. But the more important battles have more Pokemon in the Kanto region of Soulsilver. And with more Pokemon, that means higher potential for not just stronger Pokemon, but weaker Pokemon. But because they have more Pokemon, there's also a good chance that you can get walled by something. For instance, if I was to be in a battle where they have a full team of 6, just because maybe 3 of their Pokemon are something like Beedrill, Butterfree, and like a Zangoose, the other 3 might be something like a Tyranitar, a Salamence, and a Dialga. That's pretty terrifying, because if I was to lose any one of my Pokemon that actually can go up against one of these powerful threats, I might just be at a severe disadvantage because the other 2 can't do anything against it. Besides that, I also did take on Kanto, generally speaking, at a lower level. I was lower leveled than most of the gym leaders, I believe, or more so on par with the gym leaders. I was kind of tackling it all at about level 50. I wasn't level 60 until after I beat all of the gyms. Now, another thing with Kanto is you do have more items available, so that means I can find more TMs, more potions, whatever I want in the wild. But it doesn't matter too much in this case because I already have the 3 whole held items that I'm going to use for the rest of the run. The gym battles were manageable. I was able to go through all of them pretty much in one try. They weren't anything too bad. I got pretty good luck with the kind of Pokemon they had. I wasn't stuck on any gym leader for longer than 2 tries. I don't think I actually lost against any of them. The Elite Four rematch, however, is kind of the same, but it's a little bit different. So going up to the Elite Four rematch for the first time, I wasn't level 60. I was going in fresh out of my gym battles, or at least I'm pretty sure I wasn't level 60, but I had just finished up my gym battles. I'm going in for the rematch. The Pokemon here are now all level 60 and above, and full teams of 6 for all of the Elite Four members, including Lance. My first attempt at going up against it was pretty bad. My first few attempts, I actually just couldn't make it past the second Elite Four member. I wasn't high enough leveled. I was getting stomped by the Pokemon. So I went to grind a bit, not really for preparing for the Elite Four, but to prepare for the Red fight, where his lowest Pokemon is a level 80 on a team of 6, where his highest level is 88. So I just decided I'll go up to level 75 on all 3 of my Pokemon, and we'll see how we do. So of course that meant I was higher leveled than all of the Elite Four members. I believe Lance's highest level is 72 if I'm not mistaken, so I definitely had the level advantage. That made most of the Elite Four members pretty easy. I was able to go through them all pretty just easily, until Lance. Lance put up a real fight, and his last Pokemon was actually a Gengar, and he Destiny bonded my Pokemon, and well, I technically lost the fight. If you were to play by more official rules, Destiny Bond, I believe, if it works out, goes towards whoever used the move rather than the person getting hit by it, because, you know, both Pokemon are dying. I had 3 HM Pokemon in my party, so it still counted as a win, and in the end, I would have just said, screw it. It was 3 on 6. I took down all 6 of them with 3 Pokemon in the end anyway. I would either say it was a draw or a win, and I felt ready to just go take on Red, so I didn't want to redo the fight. I just kind of said, screw it, let's go for it. And Red was pretty bad. Red had a really powerful team, and I'm going to explain why. His team consisted of Suicune, Probopass, Whiscash, Crobat, Machamp, and Raticate. You might be saying, Raticate? That's not bad. Crobat, Whiscash, Probopass, those aren't very good Pokemon. And they are, you know, they're not the best, but they're also not the worst. Raticate is actually kind of a nuisance in this fight because it's so powerful that it can very likely take a Pokemon down with it due to Super Fang and Hyper Fang and Double Edge and whatever it has. Crobat, not the hardest, but it definitely is not good because of Leafy, so if Leafy's in, Crobat comes in, it's absolutely walls Leafy, so I need to get something else in. Probopass is honestly the best Pokemon for my team to deal with. It's so easy for me to just set up and do whatever on it. Machamp, scary, manageable though. The Suicune is what is terrifying. You might think, Suicune's a water type, why is it so deadly if you have a grass type? And well, in the Red fight, it's permanent hail. And guess what Suicune knows? It knows Blizzard. That is a 2-shot on Leafy. Now, what else does Suicune know at level 88? Calm Mind and a Hydro Pump. Setting up one Calm Mind makes it nearly unkillable for everything, because it just does so much damage. Leafy can't even touch it, really. Flex can barely do damage to it because his defense is so high. Cindy just doesn't even stand a chance at all. But Flex was the only one that was able to stand up to it. And I'll let you know why. Blizzard wouldn't really do anything. It's resisted. Hydro Pump wouldn't do too much. It was resisted. The problem was when Suicune Calm-Minded. If it Calm-Minded, Flex didn't stand a chance. But very lucky for me, when Flex is in and goes for enough crunches or superpowers or whatever I go for, Red liked to switch it out to Probopass. And when it switches out to Probopass, that's when I had an opportunity. So I found that out after my first few attempts, where I would start with Leafy, I'd try to go for a Light Screed. I'd switch to Flex, I'd find he'd just go out to Probopass. So my strategy changed a bit. I would instead just start with Flex, and hope for the best there. Now this fight needed a good bit of luck on my side for me to win, because I was underleveled, but it was very possible. Now, Flex was basically the core of my team in this fight. Without Flex, I would not have been able to win. So the general idea was I needed Flex to take down Suicune. I needed Flex to take down Probopass at some point. I needed Flex to take down Whiscash. And I needed Flex to either take down or injure the rest of his team. Now, Cindy was there mainly to go up against Crobat and potentially take out Machamp. Leafy was there to just kind of get screens up in between, but also for Raticate. Anytime Red wanted to call out Raticate, I would immediately send Leafy in. If Flex took a Super Fang, it was basically dead run, because I would still need him. If Cindy took a Super Fang, it was basically a done run, because I needed him for Crobat. If Leafy got in there, it was okay though, because I needed a clean swap into Cindy in order to deal with the Raticate if Leafy goes down. And that was kind of the main idea. I needed to get proper, or a good RNG to be able to get through. So I needed missed Hydro Pumps on Flex, I needed just a lot of things to kind of go my way. You know, defense drops with Crunch, I needed critical hits maybe, just anything that could benefit me. In the final battle, here's how it went. I found a TM for Sing along the way somewhere, I don't remember where, but I taught that to Flex. I led with Flex, and I would instantly try to put Suicune to sleep. Lucky for me, in this fight, I got it first try. Red decides to switch out Suicune with Probopass. I do a Surf, then I switch out the Leafy. I have Leafy go for screens, make sure it's healed up. Whenever it goes for its attack, which was most likely a Stone Edge, I went out into Flex. And then because I was guessing Stone Edge, and I was right, I didn't really take much damage at all, and I was able to take Probopass out with just one more little Surf or whatever. Then they decide, okay, let's throw in Raticate. So at this point I say, okay, we need Leafy to come in, and then I can either try to go for screens or chip it or whatnot. So I think I set up Reflect, or Light Screen, or I might not have even set up screens at all. But I went for Magical Leaf, and I wanted to try to chip down this Raticate as much as I could for Cindy or Flex to come in and take out. Lucky me, I actually ended up taking the Raticate down completely, because the Double Edge didn't really do much and it just hurt itself, and I was able to Magical Leaf it to death with Hail Chip. And then Red decides to throw out Crobat, and Leafy doesn't stand a chance here, so I just sack Leafy to the Crobat and I let Cindy come in. I do a Flamethrower. I should have hit Eruption because it usually goes for mean luck, but I went for Flamethrower and got some nice damage down on it. All it needed was one more hit, it would be done. Then Red says, okay, that's too much damage, I'll switch out to Suicune. Suicune's still asleep, I go out to Flex. Flex is able to come in and do what it needs to do. Crunch the Suicune, I get lucky, it stays asleep. I get a defense drop actually. Because of that defense drop, my next Crunch is able to put it in range of hail damage and die. So, got really lucky in that department as well. And then Whiscash comes in. At first I'm thinking, what can this thing even do to me? And then it does an Earthquake, and I said, okay, I guess I have to sing it to death then. Which I got really lucky, it stopped going for Earthquake, because I missed 2 Sings, and it missed 2 Fissures. So eventually I get it to sleep, take it down. Then Machamp comes in, put that to sleep. First try, lucky for me. I was fully expecting Flex to go down, calling Cindy, just hope it can take out the last 2 Pokemon. But I get it to sleep, start taking it down, ready as a full restore. I just so happen to get a crit off of that turn, puts me in range of a Surf to take it down. Boom, that's Machamp. So far so good, that's pretty lucky. And at this point I was so in my head, I was like, oh boy, is this going to be the run? I don't know. Forgot Crobat's the last one. Comes in, I beat it with a Surf. And I won. And I was pretty excited. I'd been doing this for like 30 minutes or something. I think, yeah, I said in the video myself, I started the recording at about 15 minutes. I ended at about 45, or like 50 minutes or something. It took me like half an hour to be able to take it down. And that's even with speed up on. I was speeding up the fight the whole time, and it still took me half an hour of just throwing myself at it over and over and trying different things out. But in the end I won. Maybe because I was cheesing it a bit with Sing or whatever, you know, you can say whatever you want about it. But I won. I was also very underleveled by about, I think my lowest level was about 76, 75, something like that. His lowest level was 80. My highest level going in was like a 78. So I was definitely underleveled. My highest level was 10 levels below his highest level. You know, all in all, a hard battle, well fought. Both sides played bad, but I played just slightly better. In the end, Flex pretty much did all the work, but it did need help at some places, so I'm not going to say he was 100% the work, but essentially everything. You know, it took down like the entire team itself, basically. I did need a lot of good luck though. I needed Sing to land, I had defense drop, like my final run was Sing landing almost every time. I got a defense drop where I needed it, I got a critical where I needed it, my opponent just wasn't making the right moves. I got pretty lucky. I don't know what my luck statistically would be, but I'm sure it wasn't very high. All in all, it was a pretty difficult battle. You know, it was fun though. I did have fun. It was very fun, however. The fight against Red basically went how I thought it would. I thought it would be really hard because I purposely went in with kind of underleveled Pokemon, and it was a 3-on-6. I was expecting his high-leveled Pokemon to definitely wall the 3 I had if I didn't play right, so it was nice to end on a very hard challenge compared to some of the other fights. If you think this was interesting though, you should do it yourself. It's all randomized, so every single run will never be the same unless you somehow just the luck lined up in the same way. But every Pokemon trainer is going to have a different Pokemon, every Pokemon is just going to do different things. It's different run every time. It's fun. It's not a hard challenge necessarily, but it's a fun one. And I think if you like starter Pokemon, it's worth a shot. I'm probably gonna do some more of these in the future with the other games, make it a series, but for now, this is all I've got. Again, this is a part 2 to this series. If you want to go watch the first part, please do. It's, maybe not as high quality visually compared to this one, but it's the same thing in essence. You know, I did write it a bit differently, however, but if you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy that one. Don't forget, leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more content in the future, and leave a comment for that algorithm, baby. Alright, that's it everybody. Have a good one. Peace out.